Hello. This is a small short video about the history of the Philippine language made by me, Saja Gassim, from Dental 247. Starting with the introduction, the Republic of the Philippines is an archipelagic country in the southeast of Asia, in the Western Pacific Ocean, and it contains 7,641 islands, broadly categorized in three main geographic divisions from north to south, with a population over with a population of 110 million people. Philippines is considered the 12th most populous country in the world, with from 130 to 195 languages spoken in the Philippines, which makes sense because a lot of islands, a lot of population. Of course, they can speak different languages or maybe slightly different from each other. In the history of the national language, starting with the pre colonial period, the earliest known surviving written record in the Philippines is the 19th AD, the Laguna copperplate inscription, which was written in Old Malay with using the early Kawi script. Before the Spanish colonization, the Philippines in the late 16th century, Tagalog was primarily spoken by the people in the central and southern parts of Luzon, which is one of the largest islands in the Philippines. Tagalog was one of the several languages in the region and was used in rich oral traditions for poetry, song, and epic storytelling. In the Spanish colonial period, the Spanish intrusion into Philippine Islands started in 1565 with the fall of Cebu. The eventual capital established by Spain for its settlement in the Philippines was Manila. The first substantial documentation of Tagalog was in the form of a dictionary and grammar book by the Spanish Ferreys, which helped in using the language uh, for religious conversations. One of the most significant linguistic effects of Spanish colonization was the influx of Spanish words into Tagalog, or Spanish words and phrases into Tagalog. As the language of power, Spanish influenced Tagalog vocabulary, leading to the adoption of numerous loanwords. Words related to religion, government, trade, and everyday items found their way into Tagalog, which eventually leading to enriching the language. Now going to the American period. During the American colonial period, English became an additional official language of the Philippines alongside Spanish. However, the number of speakers of Spanish steadily decreased after the colonial period. Now, the 1935. In Article 7, Section 3 of the 1935 Constitution, establishing the Commonwealth of the Philippines, the article provided that the National Assembly shall take steps toward the development and adoption of a common national language based on one of the existing native languages until otherwise provided by law. So, until otherwise, English and Spanish shall continue as official language of the Philippines. On November 13th, 1936, the First National Assembly of the Commonwealth of the Philippine Commonwealth approved the Commonwealth Act number 184, creating the Institute of the National Language, or SWP, and tasking it with making a study and a survey of each existing native language to be chosen which one was the which one was the basis of a standardized national language. In the year 19, on December 30th, President Quezon issued Executive Order number 134 in the year 1937, approving the adoption of Tagalog as the national language of the Philippines, and proclaimed the national language of the Philippines to be based on the Tagalog language. The Institute of National Language adopted a resolution on November 9, 1937, recommending Tagalog to be the basis of the national language of the Philippines. On June 7, 1940, the Philippine National Assembly passed the Commonwealth Act number 570, declaring that the Philippine national language would be considered an official language effectively on the 4th of June 1946. At the same year, the grammarian, at that same year, the grammarian Loke Santos introduced the 20-letter Abacada alphabet, which became the standard of the national language. In 1959, the language became known as Filipino in an effort to disassociate it from the Tagalog ethnic group. In the period of the 60s and early 70s, there were movements that appeared, approved and disapproved the idea of correcting the language, maybe. Some groups said that they wanted Tagalog to stay Tagalog. Some groups approved the idea of correcting the language, the Tagalog language, and make it nationalized all over the Philippines. So in 1937, the 1937 Constitution, in both its original form and as amended in 1976, designed that English and Filipino as the official language and provided for development and formal adoption of a common national language. The term Filipino replaced Filipino. Neither the original nor the idiom version specified either Tagalog or Filipino the basis of Filipino. Instead, tasking the National Assembly to take steps toward the development and the formal adoption of a common national language to be known as Filipino. Article 14, Section 6 in 1987, a new constitution designed Filipino as the national language and along with English as an official language. The Republic Act number 7104, approved on August 14, 1991, created the Commission of the Filipino Language, or KWF, superseding the Institution of Filipino Languages. In the present day, Tagalog, officially known as Filipino, it's a significant sample of national identity in the Philippines. It is widely used in government, education, media, and business. In the government, Filipino is utilized in official documents and public communications. And educational institutions teach Filipino as a part of their curriculum. The language continues to evolve, incorporating elements from other Filipino languages and international languages such as English. And Tagalog has been influenced over the past year. Tagalog has been influenced by various cultural exchanges and political changes over the centuries, showcasing its ongoing adaptation and growth. Some questions were asked earlier. I didn't have the time to clarify them. Limited time, but thank you for coming this far and thank you for watching. And I really hope you learned something from what I said.